Please welcome Dan Haley, President and CEO of the Colorado Oil and Gas Association.
Good morning, everybody. I'm sure you're thinking, what is this oil and gas guy going to tell us this morning? I want to start with some good news. Actually, I want to start with some great news. The United States is now the #1 producer of both oil and natural gas in the world. #1 in the entire world, more than Russia, more than Saudi Arabia. And again, this was unthinkable just a few short years ago. And it changes everything. It changes our politics. It changes the world stage. It changes our lives for the better. And it fortifies freedom. I know that is the theme of this conference. It fortifies freedom. It epitomizes the power of free market economics at work. The innovation that's being unleashed, the opportunity for U.S. companies to not only compete and win globally, but also the opportunity for the U.S. to support our allies. Now, when I was a kid in the 1970s, and I know a lot of you remember this, we had succumbed to the energy crisis. Our country had been defeated. OPEC 1, USA 0. We were told to turn down the thermostat. Do you remember that? Told to put on a sweater, that we had an energy crisis. Now, that energy crisis was absolutely real. But we were never going to conserve our way out of it and have a growing, prosperous economy. We needed to find new energy. So rather than cower, the natural gas and oil industry did what Americans always do. We did what Alexander Graham Bell did. We did what Thomas Edison and George Washington Carver did, and we did what Steve Jobs did. We innovated, we tested, we tried, and then we tried something entirely new, and eventually we succeeded. USA 1, foreign oil 0. Thanks to American ingenuity and advancements in hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling, we are now awash in natural resources. So much so that we are at the point where we cannot build export facilities fast enough. And this new era of energy benefits consumers, businesses, and all Americans. It is keeping prices low. It costs less today to heat or cool your home than just a few short years ago. And while we may see the price at the pump go up a little bit during this busy summer driving season, it is still much cheaper now to fill up your tank than just a few short years ago. I know you remember back in 2008 when candidate Barack Obama said, we cannot drill our way to lower gas prices. But the oil and natural gas industry said, yes, we can. And we did drill our way to lower prices. So we're awash in these resources. It's helping consumers. It's helping the environment. We are also producing our natural gas more efficiently and cleaner than ever before. So if you care about the environment, you should support oil and natural gas. Let me repeat that point one more time, because it probably doesn't sound like something you normally hear. But if you care about the environment, you should support the development of oil and natural gas. Our emissions along the Front Range have gone down 50%, while our production has quadrupled. Again, that's because of technology and innovation, because of American ingenuity. Open and free markets are driving innovation and cleaning the environment. And the United States is driving world oil markets. Again, something unthinkable just a few short years ago. We are no longer at the mercy of mullahs or OPEC. In late 2015, the United States gave itself a gift that we had already given Iran, ironically, but we gave ourselves this gift to export crude oil. So countries, our partners, no longer have to rely on Russia for natural gas or on Saudi Arabia or OPEC for oil. They can rely on the United States. The world is safer when the United States is a dominant player in oil and natural gas. So this ought to be a time of great celebration, right? Yet there are those who want to take us backward. There are those who want to erase the gains made by the incredible shale revolution. Remember how they used to say we don't make things in this country anymore? Well, that's just not true. The shale revolution has paved the way for a manufacturing renaissance. It has helped create jobs, not just in the oil and natural gas industry, but jobs that we said goodbye to decades ago are coming back. because of the shale revolution. If you are an entrepreneur, now is the time to start your business in Colorado and the United States. If you own a business, now is the time to bring those jobs back home. The innovation coming out of the oil and gas industry is cutting edge. We have rigs that can literally walk. It used to take several days to disassemble and reassemble a rig and drill a hole just a few feet over. Now that rig can literally move on its own. If the level of innovation and technology coming out of the Bakken in North Dakota or the DJ here in Colorado, if that was coming out of Silicon Valley, we would be the talk of the tech world. Instead, we're told companies like Amazon are high tech. Companies where a guy takes a book and puts it in a box and walks it over and puts it on a truck, and that truck drives it to my house. We're told that's high tech, yet we're able to drill a mile down, drill 2 to 3 miles horizontally, and hit a target within a couple inches. That, my friends, is high tech. And this innovation we're seeing is not happening across the world. This is something uniquely American. While citizens across the globe have freedom and the right to own businesses, it has been our birthright to explore what is called permissionless innovation. In this country, we have allowed innovation to take place without the heavy hand of government to slow us down or block us. Did you know between 2007 and 2015, there were 6 jobs created in the oil fields or from the oil fields of North Dakota and Texas for every 1 job created in the other 48 states? 6 jobs for every 1 job. Yet despite all of that, there are those who want to take us backwards. They want to deny the reality that oil and natural gas makes our lives better in the 21st century, that oil and gas helps create products that we rely on every single day, such as our clothing, our bicycles, our smartphones, medical devices. They want to deny that oil and gas makes our lives better in the 21st century. They want us to believe that it is outdated, and that if we just had the political will, we could flip a switch tomorrow to an all-renewable world. It's just not true. We have candidates running for governor who are selling voters a fictitious 100% renewable plan. And I'm not here to bash renewable energy, but the technology does not exist to power the world with renewables. In fact, just to supply the energy increase, the power demand increase that we saw last year, just to supply that small increase in renewables, in wind power, you would have to cover the entire country of Germany in windmills just to supply that increase. So I'm not here to bash those renewables, but I am here to ask that we think rationally about our energy and that we're grateful for the energy abundance we have in this country. Instead, we have activists here in Colorado who are trying to put a 2,500-foot setback onto our ballot. This poorly conceived measure could cost more than 100,000 jobs in Colorado, good-paying jobs that we should value in this state. It could eliminate $1 billion in state and local taxes that our industry pays to fund libraries and parks and rec centers. And it's just not those ballot initiatives. There are candidates running in local and state races who want to put us out of business, who want to take us backwards, and we have to stand up to those people who are trying to put us out of business. We need your help. We need your support. And that support can be as simple as saying no. Standing up for free market principles and the right for companies to exist, the right to innovate, the right to invest, to push the envelope and work to be better tomorrow than we are today. So when you encounter those activists, whether they're activists who are running for office or out seeking signatures, who want to put us out of business, I ask that you ask them just a few simple questions. Ask them if they support the tens of thousands of oil and natural gas families in the state who rely on this industry for their livelihoods. One candidate for governor says he wants oil and gas workers to go to the front of the line for his clean, new, green energy jobs. And to him I say, we do not want the government to give us new jobs. We simply want to work in the jobs that we have today, producing the energy that we all need every single day. So ask those candidates if they want to see costs go up for Colorado families who struggle to pay their bills and who have to choose between food and medicine and utility bills. Ask them if they want to end an industry that is environmentally sound, reducing emissions and helping clean Colorado's air. Ask them if they want to send a message that Colorado is closed for business and that incoherent environmental ideologies matter more than common sense solutions. Ask them if they believe in American energy independence and American energy security. We are standing up to these extremists, and we ask that you stand with us. We ask that you engage in this election cycle and make sure you know where your candidates stand on these basic issues. We need to make sure our voices are heard, that our votes have the final say, and that freedom to exist is not disregarded, and that the value of democracy and free market principles still matter in this country, in this state, and in our communities. We stand with you, and we ask that you stand with us in this important election cycle. Thank you all very much.